This is Maya.
We all have fears. Some are loud and obvious, others quiet but paralyzing. This is the story of a young girl named Maya who let fear hold her back for nearly a decade. But one day, she made a decision not to be fearless, but to be brave. Because sometimes showing up is the bravest thing we can do. When Maya was 9 years old, she nearly drowned during a family vacation. From that day on, she was terrified of water. Even standing near a pool made her heart race. She avoided swim classes, beach trips, and anything that brought her close to that fear. Years passed, but the fear stayed. By the time she turned 18, Maya was tired of feeling tired of letting fear control her life. So she made a promise to herself, I'm going to learn to swim. I have to push past this. The first day at the pool, she stood at the edge for 20 minutes, frozen. The instructor waited patiently. Maya stepped back and left. She almost gave up, but something in her whispered, go back, just show up. So she did. Day after day, she kept showing up. At first, she just dipped her toes in, then stood waist deep, then practiced floating, even while shaking with fear. It wasn't instant. It wasn't pretty, but it was progress. Weeks turned into months. One day, during a lesson, the instructor said, you're ready to swim across. Maya hesitated. Her chest tightened. But this time, she whispered to herself, you've come too far to stop now. She pushed off the wall and swam. Not fast, not graceful, but with everything she had. When she reached the other side, tears filled her eyes not because she had finally learned to swim, but because she had done something her fear told her was impossible. Maya's journey wasn't about swimming, it was about reclaiming her courage. She didn't conquer fear in a single day, but step by step, she chose growth over comfort. And that's the lesson for all of us. Progress doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from being present. And sometimes the bravest words we can whisper are, I'm scared, I'm tired, but I'm doing it anyway. Moral of the story? Pushing yourself isn't about doing big things right away. It's about doing the hard thing, even if it's one small step at a time. Growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from the moment you say, I'm scared, I'm tired, but I'm doing it anyway.
This story is about Grace, who loved to sketch.
Grace loved to draw. Ever since she was little, sketching was her escape, her way of telling stories without speaking a word. She wasn't looking for attention or praise. She just loved the quiet joy of creating something from nothing. But everything changed when she moved to a new school. There, she met Victoria. Victoria was incredible. Her art was precise, polished, and always praised. She won awards, had her work displayed in hallways, and seemed effortlessly talented. Slowly, Grace began comparing herself. Why do I even try? I'll never be as good as her. With each comparison, Grace's confidence faded. She stopped drawing in class. Her sketchbook gathered dust in her backpack. Then one day, their art teacher gave a new assignment. Draw what freedom means to you. Grace thought about skipping it, but that night, something inside her couldn't stay quiet. She pulled out her sketchbook and just started. She didn't try to be neat or technical. She just poured herself onto the page. She drew memories running barefoot through her grandma's garden, lying in the grass, watching clouds, laughing so hard her stomach hurt. It was messy, imperfect, but it was real. She turned it in the next day, quietly placing it on the teacher's desk, already doubting herself. After class, the teacher called her name. Grace froze. Was it that bad? But her teacher smiled gently and said, Grace, this is beautiful. Confused, Grace replied, but it's not as good as Victoria's. My lines are shaky, the colors. The teacher cut her off, still smiling. You're not Victoria, and that's the point. Her work is brilliant, but this, she held up Grace's drawing. This has emotion. It has you in it. You didn't just draw something, you shared a feeling. That's rare, that's powerful. Don't ever lose that by trying to be someone else. That moment changed everything. Grace went home that day and picked up her pencil not to match Victoria, but to rediscover herself. She started creating again, more confident, more honest, And over time, her unique style began to shine. People noticed not because her work was perfect, but because it was authentic. Moral of the story: comparison is the thief of joy. When we constantly measure our worth against others, we lose sight of our own unique gifts. It's easy to believe we're not good enough when someone else seems more talented, more confident, or more successful. But the truth is, you were never meant to be them. You were always meant to be you. You don't have to be anyone else. Your voice matters. Your perspective is valuable. Your story, flaws and all, has the power to touch hearts in a way no one else's can. Be like Grace. Don't chase perfection. Chase authenticity. Embrace what makes you different. When you create from the heart, when you live with honesty, that's when your light truly shines. Trust that who you are is enough, because the world doesn't need another copy, it needs the real you.